Yeah, g'day, I'm Disco Dean. We race in the Radial Renegade class here at Kenda 660. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
He's the new king of the kids. Nearly there now, and this is Radial Racing Kenda style. Thanks for bumping in with Diggs at Kenda 660, and we're talking to another Renegade heavy hitter, Disco Dean. Can I use the words heavy hitter? Do they sit well with you?
It's an escort van. I don't know if an escort van could ever be classed as a heavy hitter. So yeah, there's some heavy hitters in our class, but we try and take it to them.
If you didn't know who it was until now, you certainly do know. It's the only escort pedal van in the world with a barra in it. I'm sure that's true.
There's more coming.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there's
what,
one,
more
there's another
escort
one coming, yeah.
What?
Yeah, a guy picked one up today that I know of, so that
what,
should be
gonna
out
put
soon.
a barra in it?
I think so, yeah.
You reckon he saw your car and goes,
Yeah, he's been
it
hanging
fits?
out. Yeah, he's been hanging out, yep.
But what's that going to be like if we saw
I don't know.
two
I don't know what we'll do.
panel vans?
It'll be strange.
It's like someone trying to live your life.
I'll claim it now. I'm currently the fastest barra-powered escort, the fastest escort van in the world at the moment. But don't know for how much longer.
I've noticed that just recently, especially Mark 1 Kieran, which is the YouTuber in Europe, who's all about Mark 1 escorts, has found your car and been crowing about it. Could we see a European tour for Disco Dean? Can we take that thing to Santa Pod or something? Yeah.
Well, most of my family's in England, so yeah, if we could ever get the car there, we'd go for sure.
Renegade 550. At what stage I think it was the only class you tried to run. You didn't really fit in anything else, did you?
That's where we fall, so that's where we started to race. Yeah, I just tried Kenda because everyone said it was good fun, and yeah, finally gave it a go and realised it's a totally different style of racing and how much more fun it is than other forms of drag racing. You're always paired up by time, so look, I go into every single round as a final. You're always, you know, it doesn't matter where you are in your class, you're always paired up with someone close to you. So every round is a final, in my opinion. Absolutely.
Is it? Do you like Heads Up Pro Tree?
100%.
Everyone we talk to,
100%.
That's a pretty big part of it.
Massive part.
Is Pro Tree.
Yep. Having a Pro Tree in a car that, you know, may not be the fastest thing in the world, but being able to be competitive is the big draw card. And that's the big draw card of Kenda, the series in general, is it doesn't matter how fast or slow you are. There's a class for everybody. So that's what makes it good.
We talked to some of your other favourite opponents before. They said they were all in the room. I'll mention them. Aris, Sengi, and some of our guys.
Yep.
Are they your favourite competitors?
Of course. Yeah, no, look, there's a huge crowd in our class that is very competitive, and you've got to be on your A game no matter what, and that's what everyone says. All the classes here at Kenda, you know, they're all very competitive, so you've got to bring your A game every single race. That's for sure. What
I liked is that we're doing Rumble in the Jungle to reward like the 640 cars, but then at Camaraderie we did the 550
100%.
shootout.
Yeah, it's great.
But even to have guys like Ash Pemberton and guys that are locals come in and go, well, what do I need to do here? So we've got to try and go close to 550. And all of a sudden, you can see how it's easy to get fixated on the challenge.
Of course.
Is it still that challenge
100%.
to you?
100%. It's all about the challenge. Doesn't matter where we are, what we're doing. It's all about the challenge. Just like the Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah.
Just like the Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah.
25 grand payout, you know, that's slower than what we normally run, but we're keen as to get amongst it, and we've been trying all weekend to run a 640. We went close, we went a 641 yesterday, so we're getting closer, so we'll give it a crack tomorrow and see what we can do.
I saw that live chip draw. Justin drew it down at Gold Coast Ram, and then Disco, I think you drew Juan, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You drew Juan. Now I've got to get Juan up here for an interview to get in Juan's head about what he's trying to do. Juan's gone low fives, but then is trying to go 640. You go 550s, you're trying to go 640.
Yep.
It's like the sandbaggers in here, but it was so fun to watch your way of attacking it, Juan's way of attacking it. Just if you can tell us the secret, what's the difference between the 550 and the 640? What have you done? Are you
look,
back
at
to
the end
just,
of the day,
back to gate?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're back to gate. We just turn it down as low as we can. But look, the car realistically now is designed to run 550. That's what we aim for. That's what we've been working towards for the last, 3-4 years we've been racing. And we've finally got it to that point to run 550, and to slow it back down to 640 is actually really hard. So yes, we're on gate pressure. We pull all the timing out of it, but because of that, it starts running more boosts. So even on gate pressure, it's running 30 PSI down there. So it's still trying to run a 550 realistically. So it's tough.
Do you find that harder to stage the thing when it's like that?
Yeah, so staging's completely different as well. Struggling with that last night. We try and set it up for a 1 bump in, so we're not stuffing around too much on the start line. But last night we're 3 or 4 bump ins. The last pass I deep staged by mistake, basically. So totally different. Yeah, it's a different race car, different setup. That's for sure. Sounds different.
You've just about worn this damn thing out.
Yeah,
right? So I don't know anyone this year that would have done as many runs at as many tracks as what you have. Have you? Where are we lap-wise this year?
I haven't kept count, but there is a lot of slips in my bag in the kit. That's for sure. There's a big stack of slips in there. We've done a lot of racing.
It just puts a smile on my face every time I see that panel van turn up. I just go, well, here he is again. He's gonna hit that beat. Do you see the Christmas tree in your dreams?
Absolutely.
Do you?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
No, it's just unbelievable fun, that's for sure. Look, one great thing about going to different tracks too is we meet different people. Different kids see the cars, we get them in the cars, we try and start it up with the kids in the car, get them interested, but different crowds and different tracks. Camaraderie, Warwick, Mackay, they've all been big crowds, and that's been the most fun part, that's for sure.
Is there a favourite moment, is there a favourite event that you've been to where you go, man, because they all our Kendas have been really, really good.
Absolutely.
But is there any particular one that just stuck with you? Was it a night that you may have won, or somewhere that you
Look,
just...
Look, we've got a couple. We've won a round before. We've won a belt, and that's a pretty big achievement. I classify that as a huge moment to be able to win a belt in our class. Being so tight, you've, in my opinion, beaten the best to get that belt. I'll drop Jason Singh at once. We had one race against him, and I beat him. It's not always, it's always a 50-50 between us. It's a tight race, but at the end of the track, he said to me, "I don't know how you beat me," and that's a pretty big achievement when you beat someone at that high level, in my opinion, and he doesn't even know how, and neither do I, to be honest. But you know it's tight when you race someone and they say to you, "I don't know how you beat me." You know it's on.
Until you got back and you looked at the slip, and then there's normally somewhere on that slip a reminder of why.
It's a .00 something.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
And me and Aris have spoken about this too. 2 years ago, you could win, and now it's a 001. Between us, it's absolutely insanely tight.
We say this every time, and I said it at Camaraderie earlier this year, is that we turned up at Camaraderie and we did that whole night, and we get at the end and we go, when did we rehearse to be such good drag racers?
Yeah.
How are you guys, how are you such good drag racers when you all turn up, they come from everywhere, you put them in these classes, they find their way, maybe a little bit of testing, and then 3 rounds of qualifying, 3 rounds of racing.
Absolute quality.
And then we get 12 thousandths of a second, we get 16 thousandths of a second, you get 00 lights.
Yep.
Aren't we all just working class blokes that go to work on a Monday?
Look, I think there's a huge thing of no one actually realises how good of a racer we all are. I think everyone just sits in the stand and watches each other and they're like, wow, that guy's unbelievable. And then, half an hour later you're down racing that guy, sending it to him. And I don't think anyone actually thinks that they're some, high-end racer. Everyone's just here having a good time. And we just turn into quality racers realistically by mistake, I think, just out of the addiction to be competitive.
The addiction to be competitive.
Yeah.
That you've captured that well, because that's exactly kind of what it is, I guess.
Yes.
Is that, look, maybe some of us could go door slammer, some of us could go top fuel, some of us could do that. But this just allows everyone to be a professional racer.
Absolutely.
Because where else do you get to race? On a pro tree.
Pro tree heads up.
And you're coming in there every day. You might as well be in a slammer. You might as well be in a fueler. But the bloke next to you, you'll go and have a drink with. or in the case of some of them, got to give the other guy a cuddle. We don't see that in mainstream drag racing too much.
Yep.
And I know for years they treat it like sheep stations. I know that you guys probably treat it like a sheep station, but at the end of the day, only so many people can win the sheep station at the end of the night. Yep. But at the end of the day, if you know you've been beaten in a good race, yep, you'll basically just go, well, you'll cop it sweet.
Yep.
Is it that humility of being a recreational drag racer? Is it that humility that you bring, living this humble existence, knowing that this is a hobby and not a living?
Absolutely.
Does that what keeps you humble?
I think the massive attraction to the Kenda series is the camaraderie. Again, Jason seeing we've had an engine problem before. We've been right at the back of the staging lanes, and I've watched our whole class go through, and I couldn't make it, and he sat there. He didn't know where we were. He sat there and he sat there and he sat there. He would not move. In the end, I thought, I'm going to have to go up there just so he'll race. And I idled my car all the way up to the start line, and we went 35 seconds down the track trying to idle it down just so he could get his race in, you know. So there's that respect amongst us that's just next level, and you just can't get that anywhere, you know what I mean?
But you are next level as a competitor. The cars, everyone knows the car, to the point that people are now going to build their own version of barra-powered escort panel beds. And I hope they run in the Renegade class, because I'd love to see both of you guys going to Bump City somewhere in the future. But you'd be absolute a Bump City, mate. And this guy's put Bump City on the roof of his golf buggy, so every time he drives it in front of it, he can remind me just of that catchphrase that we made up a little while ago, and that's never going to go away while there's turbo cars.
Yep.
Thank you, Disco.
No, thank you.
Awesome. On you, Disco. We're going to Bump City one more time. And he's the new king of the kids. You've been here now, and this is Radial Racing Kenda style.